For the longest time, I couldn't figure out the abuse cycle in my relationship. Like in the traditional narcissistic relationship, there's that love bombing period, which lasts about, 3 months or so. Once they hook you, they start the devaluation phase. But in the devaluation phase, there's all these mini cycles of abuse, right? Like where there's rising tension, then a big explosion, and then reconciliation. And I couldn't figure out where the reconciliation phase was happening in my relationship. Like what reward was I getting out of those mini abuse cycles? Because he had no money, so it's not like he took me places and he bought me things. Touch definitely wasn't my love language, so any acts of intimacy after an abuse cycle was not my preferred method of reconnection. Words of affirmation meant shit to me because after a few rounds of "I'm sorry, I promise I'll change," you realize that their words mean nothing. So then where the fuck was my payoff? I realized it was in acts of service and quality time, which were my primary love languages. He deprived me of those things in our relationship. When his kids weren't home, if he wasn't working, he was sitting on the couch watching TV. We didn't do anything meaningful together. Before we moved into this house, he made all these promises of things that he was going to do to make our life and our home more beautiful. But he only gave me those things after an abuse cycle. Everything that got done around the house only happened after an abuse cycle. And he would pick a task from the list and he would ask me to help, which is where the quality time piece came in. Setting up the pool, building our fire pit, planting the garden, painting the living room. All of these small acts of service, things that I had asked him to do, were never touched unless and until he was trying to smooth something over. And this is how he loved bombed me in the abuse cycle during the devaluation phase. Because how could I stay mad at him when he was doing nice things for me and for us and for our house and for our future? None of these gestures were genuine. Because anytime there was an issue, he would bring them up as ammo to excuse his behavior. He would completely Darvo the situation to make it look like I was the one that was being ungrateful. But this kept me in the cycle because I felt guilty for leaving when he was doing these nice things, even though they were not genuine and merely used as a manipulation tool to stop me from leaving. While I typically dislike the concept of the love languages, I do know what mine are. But isn't it interesting the only time he would meet them was after an abuse cycle? Does that resonate with you?